Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Malt Magic. Before we start, I just need to say a huge thank you to some of the tools or some of the organisations we're using for our sound effects. So, massive thank you to BattleBards and Tabletop Audio. If you're not using them for your game, highly recommend it. They're adding a level of immersion and coolness, epicness to our games, which is taking it to a whole new level. As always, in these episodes, there's adult language and adult humour, so you have been warned. Other than that, have a great night and enjoy the episode.
That's fun and games.
So the main recap from last week is the horses we forgot, right?
Yeah, that's about right.
And I was just about to jump in the middle of a big sundial and hope for the best.
Yeah, not to mention the fact that you
went through a lot of emotional trauma.
Yeah, you did.
So it was an interesting week or session last week. You obviously finally entered the room, got past the riddle door, had a quick nosy around this mausoleum, if you want to call it that, and then eventually came toe to toe with two stone giants. Managed to gank them with relative ease, actually. Don't think anybody came too close to getting smacked down. But once you then had done that, you found some runes on the southernmost sarcophagus, and having then deciphered those runes and Ander somehow, with some unknown strength, managing to open it, was granted a audience with the spirit of his long-lost grandfather somewhere along the line. Revelations were made about your royal lineage, and the spirit of the seer, I believe, also made an appearance, and gifted Kirik something interesting. And then you sort of proceeded with that emotional trauma and all the baggage to try and make your way out of the cave. Having navigated back through the tunnels, decided to take a different route out of the waterfall room, headed pretty much directly south until you came to a room where in front of you there is quite literally a dead elven body and what looks like some sort of arcane circle in front of you. And that is where we left off.
I have a question before we jump in.
Go for it.
Firstly, am I coming through the right channel?
That's better.
Yes, I am.
A bit louder.
Yeah.
The shield that I have, it's a +1 shield, correct?
Yes.
Cool. Okay. I had
It should
to
give you the +1.
fiddle around. It didn't. It just gave me +2. But I fiddled around with.
Did you attune to it?
That is a good point. I have not attuned to it yet. I haven't spent an hour with it yet.
So you'll probably find that particular setting
That's
would
why.
probably only be granted when you attune to it.
Correct.
I think of all these
Change
things.
that again. I will change that again. Cool.
It's all good.
So my armor
So I
class
will
is
just say that
technically down then.
I'm short of, quite short of spell slots, so I don't know whether we're going to do a short or long rest anywhere, or not.
Well, can I kind of perceive the nature of this circle in front of us?
Make me an Arcana check.
Whilst Ander no doubt will investigate the body.
Did I check the body
can't.
last time or not? I can't remember.
No. So we literally
I'll have-
left when
yeah.
you'd seen this room, and I think you were about to swan dive through the arcane portal, arcane. I don't. Portal's the
Is it
wrong
sundial?
word. Circle, sigil, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
That's 15 in Arcana.
So, you sort of walk around the circle a little bit, and from what you know of magic, when I'm not smacking the mic, you understand some of the runes they use, some of the symbols. They look like they may be used in some form of teleportation magic, or maybe some sort of divination type magic as well.
Can I have a little look-see at the body then? Is he dressed the same as the previous dead guy?
So as you look at this body itself, in terms of what you see immediately, is dressed in very fine clothes, clearly an elf, a discarded torch, just sort of strewn by the body, but then there's a blood pool around the body. If you wish to make me a investigation check, you can look more specifically at the body.
I will. And I rolled a big fat 8.
So the body itself, the wounds have clearly been caused by some sort of animal or some beast, and there's just a lot of rips and tears and sort of shreds, but you can't quite figure out what it is. There's no other signs from what you can see with that check as to where a creature might have come from or where it's gone.
Can I search the body in case there's other clues like there was on the other body? It might help us discern what this portal is, or this circle thing is.
So again, make me another investigation check, please.
Natural 20 on that one, so I got 22.
Oy.
So what you do find is a simple dagger,
Okay.
what looks like a book of spells, or a spell book of sorts, and a coin purse.
What is inside the coin purse?
As you open up the coin purse and pour it out, you find all of 2 gold coins.
I shall put those gold coins on his eyes to pay the ferryman. I'm feeling generous. Can I discern what kind of spell book it is? Or can I
In
ask
terms of,
Kirik if he knows? Because I'm thinking I may have use for the spell book, but if it's more useful to Kirik, for example, I could gift it to him.
It won't be useful for me. I received my powers from a higher being.
yeah.
Ooh, la-di-da. Okay, so is it? Can I discern what type of spell book it is?
So
Is it
from
like
again,
Warlock?
from everybody's understanding of the way magic works, spellbooks are usually used by wizards who study the arcane nature of the world and sort of create spells to bend that magic to their will, so to speak. As a warlock, they receive their power from a patron of sorts. So they are gifted their power. The other types of spellcasters, so for yourself as a bard or a rogue, it's usually your bardic college or your inspiration of music that channels some sort of magical energy. So again, you don't really use a spell book.
I'll stow it away then, so I might be able to sell that. I'll keep it. I'm not going to let it go. Obviously, I'll keep hold of that.
I've just seen Kirik's note for this session. Yes, cool. And
Oh yeah,
bestows
don't worry. We're going to get back to that.
and bestows the wizard's spellbook.
This seems to be some sort of teleportation or divination portal. Maybe our way out of here, but might just be a portal to some place more dangerous. So I recommend that I think I saw a corridor that we did not search. Maybe we can further explore there. We'll get the horses, and then if this is the only way to go, then we head in.
Yes, my worry would be that whatever killed this man may have came through that portal. Because I don't know whether it's an entry portal or an exit portal or both. But I'm with you. I think this should be our last alternative in terms of getting out of here. I'm not sure I'm ready for more surprises at this point.
Does my roll allow me to see if the portal has been used? It was a 15.
The magic still glows, or the circle still glows. You get the feeling that maybe it's been used.
May I propose an experiment, gentlemen?
Before you do, Kirik, I know you probably can do this far better than I, but have you already done detect magic, or is that not going to help us at all? I can humbly provide it if you need it.
I have not prepared that spell for today. I would have to take a bit of a rest and do my prayer to receive that power for the day.
Okay. I'm going to detect magic then, and I'm going to have to bring up my spell colours again.
Cool.
This is where
So
Matt throws
as
you a curveball and it's like magenta polka dots, isn't it?
Yeah, I was about to say, it's like it's every colour.
So as you look at this circle with your magical eyes, so to speak, it's very much a bluish type fog that surrounds it. And a little bit of a grey mist to it as well.
Think you're right there, Kirik. Definitely something to do with some sort of transportation.
So, my experiment idea. Shall I throw this worthless dagger into the circle and we can observe what happens?
That's not what I thought your plan was going to be the way you said that there.
It was definitely going to be throw the body in and see what happens.
Well, I'm trying to learn from past endeavours. I'd rather
I've
sacrifice
noticed
that.
in the fact. Yeah, I've noticed in the fact that you didn't take those 2 gold coins. And I pat him on the back.
I've got plenty of gold. If it had been a jewel or a ruby, straight in the pocket.
Yeah, there's
Ander has got discernibly
camp.
camper this week, as you can tell.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm royal now, you see.
Love it.
It's called a character arc.
You trying to tell us something, Danny?
Well, I'm leaning into my royal blood now, you see.
Careful.
Well, it's more of a queen than a king at this point, but...
That's what she's doing. Okay.
Cool.
Well,
I
then,
throw the dagger
Ander,
into
if
the
you wanna do
circle.
it.
Cool. So Ander picks up the dagger takes up the dagger he's picked up off his body and throws it into the circle. And it sort of lands ding, ding, ding into the circle. Nothing happens.
Oh.
The dagger doesn't get teleported.
Nothing happens.
Okay.
Should we level up and push the dead guy in? Maybe it needs human flesh, or maybe it doesn't work on inanimate objects. Or we go for Kirik's plan and we go get the horses, look for another way out, and I'll
We are
go
not
back to my
throwing the
experiments
horses
at a
in.
later date. No, you made a promise. You cannot.
It's very true.
Yeah. Let's explore all the other routes in this cave before we start poking at a magical thing on the floor.
I shall pocket my curiosity for later on. Let's go get the horses.
Cool. So you begin to traverse your way back And I'll just scrub that out for now, he says. There we go. Caught up eventually. So you come back and you reach this point, which is where previously you had continued south.
I think we'll still go north, get the horses, check on them at least. There's no point in them being all the way up there.
So you can continue back to the waterfall room, body that no longer is there, but there is still the bloodstains, and you make your way back along, and eventually you get to here, and you don't see the horses.
Well, this is a predicament. Do you think they
The
went
vine's
south?
gone now.
Well, there's a rock fall from my thunderwave.
Yeah, so the
yes.
whole cave
Yeah,
entrance
that's
is collapsed.
Are there
Cat-
any marks, any tracks on the floor?
Maybe a nature or survival check, please.
Okay.
Can I assist?
Can I assist?
Kirik?
Oh,
Oh, well, never mind.
Roll with advantage, Kieran.
Sure. I mean, yeah. First roll is a 23.
that'll do, won't it?
So you see some quite clear set of hoof prints that are travelling south from this point.
I can see some marks on the floor. They must have headed south. Probably
South it
running away
is.
from the
The
cold.
way, sir.
I ain't walking home.
I will go front.
Cool. So Kirik leads the way.
Bothrid, my good man, is it possible for you to call the horses back with your newfound powers?
Let me open the new D&D player app. D&D Beyond
Stop
player
and
app.
shout. It's good.
Thank you, D&D Beyond.
Is that the
okay.
character
Sponsoring
sheet
time?
app? Yeah, the character sheet app's not bad. Doesn't have the dice roller in there though. That's the only letdown for me.
It'll get there.
That'll be on its way, surely.
Yeah.
So, we've got spells. He is all out of spell slots. So Buffy
feel
turns
that.
and goes, no power today. Need rest.
It's
Understood.
alright. We'll get the horses and then get some rest.
Alright then, Kirik, you lead. I'll take the rear.
I shall head south.
Cool.
Sure. I'll cast light on my shield so that I can see
Cool.
a little bit more. I've got dark vision, but for Anders' sake.
Yeah, so with that, you can all sort of see within the radius that I now show as you begin to traverse down this corridor and keep following the tracks. And they go for some way. Keep coming down. And then we get to this point. So a bit that we'd not observed or explored before.
I will say that I,
Scrub this out.
if I didn't already, I would relight Dawnbringer.
Yep, cool.
Show
So you
us
can
the
pretty
way.
much see all the way down there. So you sort of here now. And as you sort of whisper that to Dawnbringer, you get that feeling in your head of pride to be useful from the sentience of Dawnbringer. I'm assuming you come around the bend.
Yep.
Yep.
Indeed.
Cool. So as you come around the bend, getting up around the bend. When whiteboard catches up,
What do we, what do we all... What's sort of the general understanding as to a sentient weapon, and does it, like, have a personality? I know there's certain scripts in it that say that it, there's a certain amount of description in it, but I've just been trying to look as to
So,
what bit.
getting those feelings about Dawnbringer specifically, you know that she's female.
Yep.
You know that she has a particular proclivity for killing undead.
Particular desire to kill undead and to
Yeah.
help the light.
And yeah, so she is bonded with you as a warrior.
Yeah.
So she very much has her own personality.
Cool. All right.
Cool. So
Lovely.
eventually
Crack
you
on.
sort of turn and you see this bit. I'm assuming again you follow it around.
Yep. Do we hear anything apart from the waterfall that has been ruined?
Make me a perception check.
Let's. That will be 22.
So as you listen, you begin to hear what sounds like the echoing of maybe hooves just moving around or shuffling around. You also hear some other rustling or shuffling, but you can't quite figure out what that is.
Hold up, boys. Hold up. I think I can hear the horses. There might even be something else. Stay on your guard.
Would the light from the shield have alerted
Yeah.
anyone to our presence at this point?
Yeah, so I was going to say, before turning the corner,
just
hearing
have to
this, I
find
would
out.
dispel. I would
Are we also
dispel
saying-
my shield.
Okay,
If
so
it's
you just got a
Um,
shield.
What's Dawnbringer's
Dispel
light,
the
though?
sorry. It's a sun blade, so it's like sunlight.
So quite a long way then as well.
Yeah.
You're at the back anyway, though, so you might be okay.
Doesn't say anything about actually a distance of actual light. I have a... Sorry. Dawnbringer has dark vision out to 120 feet and also hearing. But there's nothing necessarily that says about it. I know it's a sunblade, it's radiant, it's made of light, but it just doesn't say what sort of radiance we're going to say. It gives out.
Yeah, so I've sort of used a bit of DM's discretion on that and said, because it's a sun blade and it is a beam of pure sunlight, effectively, you get at least a 60-foot radius worth of light coming out of that.
As in bright light, not dim light.
Bright light, and then there'll be an additional bit of dim light. But
If I was to go ahead, so to say if I was to go invisible and go ahead, I'm not going to be able to see them, am I?
you've not got dark vision, have you?
No.
No. So you definitely
So I'll be
cannot
fumbling.
see.
That's out the window. I'll be fumbling around in the dark and I'll make more noise than anything else. Okay. Might just have to take it on the chin.
I could try and scout ahead. I'm not the stealthiest of individuals, but could always try.
I take it there's no other light sources in here.
No.
Could I... How shit is your stealth rolling, Kirik?
It's not great. It's a +1.
Because I could
Um,
grant you bardic inspiration potentially, and you'd get to add a 1d6 to your roll.
That's not a bad shout.
do I have to be holding Dawnbringer to get her dark vision? Or
Yes.
does it also have to be lit?
Yeah.
So, right.
To be fair though, if you've got dark vision for 60 feet, is it?
An additional 60
could-
feet after the 60 feet of bright light kind of thing.
Or Kirik, if Kirik's got dark vision, he could
Oh,
just
sorry.
stand on the edge of the corner and see up the path anyway, couldn't he?
Depends how the cave goes, but I suppose I could.
Yeah.
Okay, so are you
What does my
dispelling all light at this
half
point?
orc eye see?
So I'm assuming all light is dispelled at this point. Kirik,
Yep.
as you look,
Yeah.
15, 20,
I'm still holding Dawnbringer, just unlit.
5, 30. Magic. Not sure what happened there. Whiteboard being very slow tonight. Oh, Jesus. Just give it a minute. This is worse than Roll20. There we go. Right, it's caught up. Sort of. Let's do this a different way.
Ow.
Cool. It is there. The mouse is just being a bit dim. Cool. So we can scribble this out
Okay.
now. So 5, 10, 15. You see that far. So as you look around the corner, your dark vision, you perceive the shady figures of 4 horses, sort of all littered around up here. You also see a door, or what looks like a door, and then you also see another unknown figure in the middle of the horses. It's almost hunched over. From what you can tell from this distance, might be wearing some form of cloak, but very hunched over, walking with a very strange gait.
Do I see any weapons on them?
From this distance and with dark vision, it's difficult to really discern anything. However, make me a perception check with disadvantage, please.
That's 7.
So yeah, you can't quite discern anything, put it that way.
What do you see, Kirik?
Okay. There's the horses are here, but there's someone else with them. You said they're hunched over,
They
right?
look like they're hunched over. Look like they're hunched over and walking with a sort of almost jumpy, jerky movements as they walk.
Right. I think maybe if we try to
Do we attempt to
try to
parlay?
talk and maybe one of us stays at the back, ready to for an element of surprise if needed. But conversation can't hurt.
Cool.
I'm not exactly charismatic.
So, are you lighting up again?
I'd be tempted to approach without light,
Okay.
So, is Kirik going up first?
but I don't know.
If I was to
Yes.
approach, I would definitely need some light because I'd be blind otherwise.
Yeah.
So Bothrid places his hands on Anders' shoulder, as if to say, just wait with me. Kirik makes his way up. Where do you want to go to? Out there?
Sure. Yeah. I'll stay
Is
a
that
good
my
10
end or
feet
your end?
away.
That's my end. Sorry. I've managed to do something.
Yeah, I'll stay a good 10 feet away.
No worries. So we'll put Kirik there. I'll put the rest of the party down here. The worst P ever. Cool. So Kirik, as you approach, the figure turns and faces you.
Hello, friend.
A couple of moments go by, probably about 30 seconds, and then a head sort of raises up, wings open out, and a haunting song begins to play, or begins to sound out. I need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Ah, fuck. Can I use a lucky point, please? Because I've got shit wisdom saving throw.
Of course you can.
To give me a better chance.
I'm going to use my point of inspiration to re-roll that.
No worries.
Well, I got a 10
It's not much better.
plus 0.
Fuck's sake.
I'm glad I used my lucky points. I got 19 with my second roll.
13 for me.
I'm going down.
I rolled a 6 and a 3.
No, I would have 10 plus nothing.
Cool. So, wisdom saves. And
Oh, I got 19.
19. Kirik,
13.
13. Dargon,
10.
10. Let's just check for Bothrid as well. So, wisdom saving throw. Bothrid gets a 16. So, Bothrid's hand on your shoulder and tenses up, and it's almost like he's pulling you back slightly. And you sort of shake your head, having already succumbed to this type of melody once. You are definitely not happy. It's definitely not happening again. Kirik, you consider this the most beautiful music you've ever seen, and this figure that now appears in front of you actually looks like the most beautiful female half-orc you've ever seen in your life. Dargon, you just begin to slowly walk towards this music and this haunting melody. You are both considered charmed.
Is it permissible to light my flame tongue rapier because it's a bonus action to light it,
Yep.
but then cast a spell on the creature? So I'm basically using my sword to see what the creature is, or see what's happening, so I know where to aim my spell.
Yeah, so your bonus action, absolutely. So, Dracaris.
Yeah.
You light.
Because what I want to do is cast sleep on the winged creature,
Okay.
which has a 90-foot range, but I've moved. I have to be within 40 feet to be able to see it with my flame tongue rapier anyway.
Let's break this up a bit. So we're going to say Dargon's probably got to about here at this point. You pop around the corner and just have about light of sight. So 5, 10, 15. Yeah, so it's about 15 feet at this point. And we'll say Bothrid is still down here. So I'm going to give you this as a free move for now. So try and cast your spell.
So with sleep, I roll 5d8, and if that is equal to or more than its hit points, he falls asleep. Fingers crossed. It's not going to work, is it? I only got 25.
So you do sort of reach out, and a sort of bluish glow pulses from your hand towards the creature. And the creature just continues its singing and raises up a bit taller. You now see it as familiar to the creatures you fought outside before, except this one is bigger in some way. The wings larger. The stance taller, but also looking older and more wizened, however you want to say that word. Cool. And at this point, you shall now roll initiative.
I tried, fellas.
That's fine. I've got 3 spell slots. This is gonna go great. Oh.
I got 21 on the initiative.
Nice. So Bothra got a 19, was that? 19. You got 21, you say? Amber?
Yep.
Hold on.
19.
19. Kirik.
It's a 5.
It's a 5.
You're rolling like a dream tonight.
Oh yeah,
Cool.
I am.
So, with that order, and you now get another go. Having seen this creature just shrug that spell off, your sword is out, or your rapier is out and lit. Yeah. That haunting melody still going.
I want to try and cast Ray of Sickness. I'm scared of getting a bit too close. So it's a ranged spell attack. 15 to hit.
What's the range on it?
60
Assuming
foot.
within range. Yeah, okay, so 15 to hit. Will hit.
Nice. So we've got 2d8 poison damage, which is 13 poison damage.
Nice.
And the creature must make a con saving throw, con 13, to see if it becomes poisoned or not.
18.
Nice.
Ah, so it's not poisoned, but it just took the damage. Okay. And then is it possible? Is Kirik and Dargon still walking towards the creature?
Dargon is walking towards. Kirik at this point is just sort of stood, swaying slightly.
How
Just
do you break
enjoying the tune.
the spell? Is there a way to break?
You don't know.
Kind of asking myself rhetorical questions here. Because I was thinking to myself, right, I'm going to think out loud with you. If Dargon was walking towards it, I was thinking, well, if I trip him up, he'll stop walking towards it. But then he's prone, which would make it obviously disadvantage to stuff. But if Kirik was walking towards it, I wanted to stop.
That spell is your action, effectively, so you can move.
But can't do anything else. Okay.
Not really. You can do a bonus action.
I will move up to Kirik.
Cool. So you move up and stand next to
You
Kirik.
moved Dargon, not me.
Yes, I did. Cool. So say you're there. Okay. Bothrid's up next. He literally doesn't have a lot, so he is going to step up 5, 10. He's going to come up next to Kirik, and then he is going to pull out his longbow and just fire his longbow at this creature. 16 to hit will hit. 5 damage to the first one, and then he fires again. Second one's a 22. So 10 damage in total. This is just 2 arrows straight into this creature. And that will be his turn. Dargon.
So, I'm walking towards this quite beautiful creature who's clearly looking
so
after
the
our
way
horses.
Charmed works is that you can't attack the creature that's charmed you, or target that creature with harmful abilities or magical effects. But you do have advantage on ability checks to interact socially with that creature thing.
And so, how would it look for us? You know, as in it may be also the
So
most
as you-
beautiful thing, but are we also
Yeah.
sort of enchanted to think that we want to be with or around them, or is it just literally a hot chick?
To you, it does appear as a beautiful Goliath, and it's not like the feeling you get is just this music is beautiful, this person is beautiful. You kind of just want to go and stand with them at least, or just be near them, and get close to them.
So as a well, yeah,
So
I mean,
you need to
therefore,
just
therefore I
basically
would say
start
that yes,
moving.
I would be moving up to get next to them, which I have movement speed for, so I presume that I would be able to get to them.
Yeah. So you move 5. I'm going to say I put you there, and when you get to there, you stop.
And I would then say, I'm very grateful for you looking after our horses, and I must say I'm surprised that you're here.
And this Goliath smiles very sweetly at you and sort of holds out a hand to you. You are within 5 feet, so you don't have to move. However, you
So yeah, no, I would.
can-
I'm going to say that as I walked up, and I obviously mentioned about the horses, that I am also just partially looking over the horses. So I actually rest a hand on one of the horses. So that would essentially be my action.
Okay.
Can I? Sorry, I was going to say actually, what does that actually mean? That, I mean, I could still make checks. I could still actually. So if I wanted to. I don't know which check it would be. You can tell me, but I would. I'm curious. How does she get down here? Can I see any? Can I maybe pertain why that may be, or how she came here? I know I've already asked.
Yeah, so she's not answering you, but it sort of becomes apparent to you, and maybe your mind's a little bit dulled by the song and the beauty in front of you. But maybe she just walked through the cave and got to this point and brought the horses here for safety. Maybe that's the way you understand things, the way you see things.
Cool. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. I'm not going to say much else.
Cool. So make me a wisdom
yeah.
saving throw.
That's cocked. That is a 6.
You are still charmed.
Lovely.
Cool. The creature itself now, having been struck by these 2 arrows and this ray, despite that, Ander and Kirik, you don't actually see any blemishes or changes to the skin. She then, Ander, as you look on, opens her hands, and you now see the claws, and she just reaches back to one of the horses and goes to strike against it. So,
No!
What a bitch!
well, D&D Beyond.
Bugger.
So I just got to put horse stats up now.
Like 5 HP or something.
So, will be a... Yeah, okay. 10 hits with the first slice, and then the second one will also hit. So... 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11, 13... 21 points of damage as the claws just reach under the horse's neck and blood just sprays out. And despite this, the horse doesn't seem to whinny, but eventually just sort of falls over. As it falls over, you see the chestnut horse, riding horse, fall.
Is that the posh one that we definitely couldn't let die?
Not the war horse, and not the
Not my fancy white
yeah,
one.
no, sorry, it was the war horse, and then we had a big draft horse for Dargon, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, yeah.
So whose horse was that?
That was the one that Bothrid was originally riding.
Okay.
Kirik, Dargon, in your charmed state, you don't quite see this. You almost see her just reach out a hand, and the horse looks like it just sort of settles down to sleep.
I don't see the horse dying.
No.
Okay. In that case, because I find it really strange that we're just attacking this innocent woman, I'm going to try and grapple Bothrid.
Okay. Make me a
He's gone full method with this one, hasn't he?
strength contest.
Which I'll probably lose, but yeah, I continue to roll really well. I rolled a 4.
Yeah, so as you go to grapple Bothrid almost looks at you, throws you off, and then backhands you across the face. Snub out. Enemy. And he points towards the woman. And I am going to say, with that slap, make me your saving throw with advantage, please.
Wisdom saving throw, yeah.
Wisdom saving throw, yeah.
That's not bad. That's 24.
Yeah. Okay. So with that and with the slap,
back in
you're
the
just a
room.
bit like, what was that? And you now come to realise that haunting melody was the thing that sort of addled your brain. Now, as you look, you see the familiar creature, wings, female body, claws. You also now see where the horse will look like it fallen asleep. The chestnut rider horse or riding horse. Now its throat just torn apart, blood splaying everywhere, and the horse is just laying down as its life just ebbs out a bit.
Was the wisdom saving throw at the end of my turn?
It was at the end of your turn, but if you want to make a bonus action, I will still let you.
Seeing that, I would try and cast Spare the Dying on the horse.
Okay.
It's a new spell every week. This is good, this. Right
Need
repertoire.
to remember how that works.
At least it's not revivify.
It's just
you need a bloody diamond.
If a creature's got 0 hit points, becomes stable. Usually a touch spell, but
It
Grave
is a
Clerics
touch
can
spell.
cast it. Grave Clerics
Nice.
can cast it at distance.
Cool. So
Nice.
you, as Kirik comes to his senses, just instantly grabs his holy symbol, points his hand out. Sort of a greenish golden ray shoots out to the horse, and you see the blood spurt stop almost instantly. And there's not necessarily a rise and fall to the chest, but it still seems like it's not alive, but there's an element that it doesn't look like it's just dying at this point.
Ooh, she's going to be
With that,
pissed.
round to the top. And
I've still got my flame tongue rapier lit, so I can actually see. So I'm thinking I will just come at her with both my rapiers. Do I have a sneak attack opportunity? Is she engaged with somebody else?
no,
No.
Not in
Alright,
melee.
I'll just come at her with both of my swords then. So I'm going to go Dragon Slayer rapier first with a 18 to hit,
with a hit.
with a 13 piercing damage.
Nice.
Nice.
And then I'm going to try and hit my flame tongue rapier. Oh, not so good. A 13 to hit.
Will not hit.
Right. As a bonus action, I will. What will I do? Do I cast Healing Word on the horse? Or do I grant Bardic Inspiration to Dargon?
Does Bardic Inspiration work on saving throws? Might do, actually.
Ah, let's have a look.
I can't remember.
Yes, ability checks, attack rolls, or saving throws.
Cool.
So I mean, so don't you technically?
Because
Doesn't the person or the character get to choose when they use it? So would
Yes.
you know what I mean? I'm just
So you can use it after seeing the roll
with me just a
before
sec,
telling
right?
us what the outcome of the roll is. So,
Yeah,
so
no,
if you rolled a 5 before you told us
Yep.
it was a 5, you could choose to add your Bardic Inspiration roll to it. So you've got it for 10 minutes to use whenever you want.
Yeah. What I'm also thinking of is the fact that I wouldn't want to use it. The character wouldn't want to use it now. Do you know what I mean? I'm fine.
Yeah.
I'll happily roll it. I would happily roll it, but do you know what I mean? In the way that it's going, I have no issue here at the moment.
But in theory,
It's true.
are you gonna, if you're charmed as well, are you gonna end up doing what Kirik did and you're gonna come juggernauting into us because you've seen us attack this woman?
Don't know. Could do. I could attempt to hold you back or something.
Because I know you,
I don't know.
I know you text.
I don't know.
I know
It's
you.
really- it's really-
You just messaged me, didn't you, saying if I
Yeah, I did.
attack you, you'll get a saving throw opportunity. But
Yeah.
I've got no actions left.
No, it's not really.
Sorry about that.
It's true.
Cool.
I mean,
So,
literally just.
what are you
you know,
doing with your bonus action?
I'm going to cast Healing Word on the horse.
Cool.
So it will receive 5 hit points back.
Nice.
Okay.
And I've got some movement speed left, right?
You have.
I'm going to do something stupid.
Do it.
Seeing how Bothrid slapping Kirik helped, I'm going to run full speed into Dargon. Oh, he's right next to me. That's not going to work.
Yeah, you're gonna get about a step and bounce off.
I've misread the B and the D. I misread the B and the D. I thought I could get a run up.
However, I like this. Make me an athletics check to try and just like shoulder barge him almost.
What about if it's a? Sorry, I was going to say, is it not an athletics
Hang on,
contest? Do I need to
roll
do
of
something?
22.
Okay, never mind. I was going to say, do I need to roll? Well, at disadvantage because I'm not expecting it.
Saving throw. Roll me a strength saving throw.
Luckily, I've got gloves of ogre strength.
I was about to say that is okay.
Here he comes
Sorry,
over
it's
like a
cocked.
30 roll or something.
That was a 14.
So, Ander just turns at this point and just full on throws his shoulder into Dargon's gut. Dargon caught completely off guard, just boom, winded slightly. We will come back to that in a minute. As this all occurs,
What the hell, Andrew?
I've not like
Bothridge
dislocated
just
my shoulder
again.
or anything, have I?
Bothrid again just loads up 2 arrows into his longbow, fires once, hits, fires twice, hits. So again, just for a total of 19 damage. So these two
Nice.
arrows just again pierce the creature. And as that happens, blood just begins to flow. The creature is now considered bloodied. Doggone,
Yeah.
your turn. Ander has just shoulder barged you and caught you in the gut. Winded you slightly.
Be gentle.
So I'll be like, what are you doing that for, Ander? And I am going to grab him as witch. I am. So I would just grab him like a bar fight thing, but is that considered like grappling him? I would
Yep.
like.
If you're trying
it to
to
be.
grab him, so that would be a strength contest. So I need both of you to basically roll strength, and the highest wins.
You go.
25.
Ah, there's no point. I
24.
got 14.
Sorry, 24. 24.
And so at this point,
14.
Dargon
That was a
just
19 plus
turns
5.
and grabs and grabs Ander. So that's now your action.
Yeah.
So why are you grabbing him?
And I'm
by
grabbing you on the
throat, or
neck
you
and just
grab him?
just grab you on the shoulders, just like because
Oh,
you know,
okay.
yeah, you're like a child to me. Like, that's not very nice in front of a lovely lady like this.
Okay, are you doing anything else on your turn?
No, that would be my action. Yeah, I haven't been pushed out of 5 feet, have I?
Make me a wisdom
No,
saving
sorry.
throw with advantage, please.
Lovely. Oh, for fuck's sake, I rolled an 8 and a 9. Jesus Christ.
So despite having been jolted, and this song is just still haunting and haunting and haunting, the creature now is going to dart towards the other riding horse and claws out again, just go to drive them both into its neck.
She's a dick.
You're going to tell me that neither of you have any more healing stuff now?
Natural 1 with the first one.
I've got some healing
Yeah,
still.
okay. The second one does hit. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So she strikes into this riding horse, and somehow the horse is still standing, even as these claws just spear into it. This is the white one, Danny. So this is the one that you were riding.
Ah, cock.
So that is currently on a hit point.
See, Ander, you're scaring the horses.
And to you, dog, and it looks like she's just trying to calm the horse.
Yeah, she's just milking the horse, according to you.
The horses now begin to get skittish, and they seem to snap out of whatever trance they were in.
Oh, great. The horses can, but I can't.
So they're now starting to get a bit nervous. Cool. Kirik.
The cleric is going to tank. I'm going to move up. I'll bring out my mace and I'm going to try and hit this thing.
So how far do you want to move?
I'll move
You wanna
right
try
up
and
to
move?
her.
Okay, I'm going to say you come round the horse and move there just for the sake of space.
Yeah.
So it's quite a narrow hallway. So you move right up to her. Call that 10 feet of movement.
21 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do the job.
Piss poor damage. What's when you roll an attack? That's 2 points of bludgeoning, please.
That's like in the Minions movie with one of the minions holding that axe, just swinging it around and hitting people's legs.
Yep. I rolled 1 damage, and then I've got
So you
plus.
see Kieran run up and he
Thanks
just
for coming.
literally
Yeah.
just sort of and almost just catches a glancing blow. Well, not even a blow, just sort of like tickled this creature. And there's a hiss.
That's fair.
Anything else you wish to do on your turn?
There is not a whole lot I can do. I will just raise my shield. Be ready.
Cool. Top of the round, Ander.
What would happen if I tried to charm Dargon?
Oh.
Try and find out.
That's my last spell slot. Do I waste it? Because he's got hold of me, so I can't do nothing, can I?
I was about to say, you're not going anywhere.
So I either I poke him in the
Try
eye, or I try and charm him to break the previous charm that's on him. I'm gonna see if that works. I'm gonna cast Charm Person on Dargon. So does he just do the whiz 13?
Wisdom saving throw, DC 13.
Now he's going to make it, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gonna roll a 32.
That rolls a natural 20 on it.
Bastard.
Yeah, I rolled a 16, sorry. Fucking hell.
So with this, Dargon, you shake your head, and then you understand that Ander has just tried to charm you in some way. What do you wish to say to him? How do you wish to react to this?
Andy, you're acting very weird. Will you bloody well calm down?
Snap out of it, you fool!
Me? I'm not the one who needs to snap out of it. It's you.
Cool.
As my legs are just
Ander.
swinging in the air because he's just holding me like a toddler
Anything else you
throwing a
wish to do on your
tantrum.
turn, mate? Ander, anything else you
Ander's
do on your
turn.
turn?
I've got. I can't really do anything else, to be honest, other than
Got a
the only
bonus
bonus
action.
action I've got left is Bardic Inspiration. But as Dargon rightly pointed out, his character wouldn't use it in this situation, so it's not going to help him with his saving throw. So I'll just swing my legs and be angry, I think.
So at this
Unless I
point,
can use, as if my movement speed, I'll swing my legs, see if I can kick him. But that counts as, no, that's an unarmed strike, I can't do that.
So at this point, Bothrid, having seen all this go on, draws an arrow, points it to Dargon, fires.
Shit.
That is a 16 to hit.
Which hits because I'm not holding my shield.
So
You
as he
welcome.
aims, he aims for your leg, and just you take 10 points of piercing damage. And as that pain launches through your leg, you are instantly snapped out, and you understand the situation that's going on. You can't drop Ander until your go.
Yeah.
But Bothrid then screams, "Attack her!" and then turns his bow and arrow back, pulls, launches. That will be a That'll hit. 21 to hit for 8 points of damage. He manages to catch her sort of in the shoulder where the arms join. And you hear sort of this very loud, almost piercing scream of anger. Dargon, you'll go.
Okay, this is probably the first time that I've actually tried to use everything that I can do properly. So let's see if I can get it right. First of all, I presume that my action is to drop Ander. Is that correct or not?
I'm going to say that's a bonus action.
Wicked, love it. So I'm going to drop Ander.
So I fell like 6 foot, have I?
Well, no, only
Like
a foot or
only a
two.
couple of feet. You can still land on your
Oh,
on your
okay.
feet.
Good. My ankles are very weak.
It's that royal blood in you, mate.
So
Got
I
dainty
shall
ankles.
pull out Dawnbringer. Cast. I may not then need to do all of the things as Nate was about to say, but we'll find out. It's a booming blade.
Is a bonus action, isn't it? To cast.
Ah, is it? When you use your action to cast a cantrip, and Booming Blade's a cantrip. So let's have a look. Let's just see if I've done anything right here.
Is that an
Yeah,
action
no.
to cast or a bonus action to cast?
So I'm reading War Magic. So when you use your
Yep.
action to cast a cantrip, you can make one weapon attack as a bonus action. However, the cantrip itself requires a strike in the first place. Requires an action of attacking first with a strike.
So you've used
So-
your bonus action, so you won't be able to then strike with that war magic bonus action. But
If
you
he
can
gets
still
two
cast Booming
attack-
Blade.
It
Go
doesn't.
on, no, sorry, you
Oh,
finish.
as a bonus
Two
action.
attacks
Fine.
per
Yeah. So
action.
I can literally. So right. So I can attack with Booming Blade, and that's it. Fine. So I can't
So
use War
you
Magic on
cast
this
Booming
occasion, which is
Blade.
Yeah, that's
fine.
what I was going to say.
Cool. So I cast Booming Blade. I just have to find out if there's any sort of. I don't think there's any saving throw. It's just literally to hit. So to hit. That'll be 26 to hit.
Yeah, that'll do the job.
Yeah, a little bit. And then stationary target.
Mm-hmm.
And apologies while I just find out that that's a D8 as well. So 18 points of radiant damage and 8 points of thunder damage.
How do I can do this?
I love that.
Nice.
So now fuming and feeling really embarrassed about the fact that I've obviously been, under this thing's spell. I'm just going, as much as I didn't actually cast that at two-handed, if I can just say that I did it at two-handed, so I'm holding, two-handed and just go straight down this creature.
Cool. So you do, and you see almost the rage in Dargon's eyes at being so misled, and literally just sort of swings Stormbringer around, almost in a pure Star Wars moment. The two halves of his body just, and we're out of combat.
Woo! I drop to one knee. Pull the arrow out of my leg. And without looking at any of you, I all say, I'm sorry. I didn't know what I was doing. But I'm not going to look at you.
And I'll just put my hand on his shoulder in silence as the most awkward man version of a accepting of an apology.
Bothrid also walks up and sort of places his hand on your back. Get up. Not fault. Devil creatures. and then he walks up to the body, spits straight on it.
Ha! I stand up. You're right. Thank you, boys. I feel stupid.
I'll go next to Dargon, and I will kind of place my hand on his shoulder and say, "Happens to the best of us." And I will cast Cure Wounds at first level.
Nice.
That will be a 9 points.
Woo, thank you very much. That pretty much got rid of the arrow.
And then I will move to the horse that was struck down, but didn't die. The one that was like on 1 HP. And I will try to calm it down and cast a Cure Wounds as well.
So I'm going to say make an animal handling check first with advantage.
Sure thing.
Anders, did you heal the other one?
No, I healed the brown horse, but my white horse is now dead.
Yeah. So no, it's not dead.
It's not.
No, it's not dead.
Oh, is that the one that
Animal
Kirik is
handling.
looking after now?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
that's the
sorry.
one with the 1 hit point. There was another dead one that Kirik looked after.
I healed.
Then you healed.
So
So,
focus on the white one.
all,
Kirik,
yeah,
how
go
many
on.
HP?
The animal handling was a natural 20 for a total of 24.
Yep. Cool.
And the Cure Wounds is 8 points.
Can you double healing if you get a natural 20?
That's a good point, does it?
I don't roll for Cure Wounds. I don't roll
'cause
for
he
Cure
doesn't
Wounds.
roll to hit or anything. It was the animal handling, which was pretty much he instantly calmed this creature down.
Nice, nice.
So it's almost at full health. You see the wounds begin to close up. It's still a little bit, weak. So the white horse manages to struggle back to its feet and sort of nudges your face a little bit, Kirik, and thanks.
I pat her on the head. And I will look at this creature and start looking at it, start taking some notes about what this creature is. And its
I was about to
abilities.
say, can now make an investigation as to what it is.
Make a nature check.
4 still looks half Goliath to me.
16.
So now you've been able to get up close, Kirik, and having seen the features of this creature, the wings that now splay out on the floor, you understand the two halves of this creature, when whole, are actually a harpy, and you've heard these in legend before. And the way this one looks, it's bigger than the ones that were outside. It's older than the ones that were outside. You get a little bit of a feeling that maybe this was an alpha or a matriarch or something like that. As Ander just drops his shit.
Would I know with that roll if this is like a natural habitat for them of some sort?
You understand that this is not really a natural habitat. They don't necessarily inhabit caves. You understand them to usually be in sort of places where they can make a rapid escape if they are overcome. They wouldn't usually be down in a dead-end corridor. So they're usually found on like cliffs or mountains, those sorts of things. It's strange for her to have been down here.
What the hell was this bloody thing?
It's a harpy. I'm gonna ask something, and this is a bit of a stretch, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Do I detect any like residual magic on this? Would it be safe to assume that perhaps this is the thing that came through the portal?
Make me an Arcana check.
Can I also say that, and you can tell me, was my concentration blown when I was charmed?
Let's check. So not while you were charmed necessarily.
But I would have had to have made
damage.
Yeah.
So how much you took? Like 8 damage, didn't you?
Yeah.
10.
10 damage. Yes, you're right. Yeah.
Yes, it was 10 damage. So you need to make a concentration check, which I can never remember what that roll is.
It's 10. It's 10 or half the damage dealt, whichever's highest.
So it's 10.
So
10.
yeah, it's 10.
And then that's a wisdom
Constitution
save, isn't it? Is it Constitution?
For
So you need to
Constitution.
concentration spells.
So Constitution, that's a 15.
So yeah, your concentration was not broken.
Cool. I therefore have detect magic still, if because I've had it for 10 minutes.
Nice.
If you say that it's only taken us 10 minutes to get around here.
Yeah.
Cool.
So where were you previously doing detect magic?
I was doing it
sundial,
around the sundial.
Yeah, near the portal.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's like at the limit now. The vision itself is beginning to fade.
It's going. Yeah.
You can't, with that fading, you can't quite pick up anything off the creature. However, the door is almost blinding
Okay.
in its magical auras, and you see. I
relay this to the other two.
that ebb of flow of orange and blues. You see a bit of gold in there. And I'm going to say that's it. As your detect magic then. Kirik, make me an Arcana check.
Uh, 19.
So, with your sort of natural innate ability with magic, from obviously divine magic, you do get the feeling that there is some form of magic on this creature, residual in some way.
This is strange. Harpies don't usually end up in caves.
How do you think it got got here then?
Well, I seem to detect some sort of residual magic from similar to the one we found at the portal. It's not unbelievably out of reach to think that perhaps this harpy was brought here by accident or by design. The question is if all the others outside were as well.
I just said you picked up some residual magic.
That's my bad. I thought
Okay.
that was good.
Well,
no idea. Maybe just flew it and we trapped it in.
Well, I don't know about I don't know about that, but that door is full of bloody magic.
And I sort of say to myself under my breath, I know I should have just jumped in that bloody circle.
Can I make a check to see whether this door looks similar to the first door that we saw?
As you look at the
My
door,
vote is for Kirik to touch it first.
it appears almost identical to the first door you saw. However, there is no circle this time, but you do see the familiar runes of geometric shapes and the chalk-like writing. As your gaze now falls upon it, the chalk-like writing begins to form.
Well, Lander, I think you're right. Kerry, you're up.
Fine.
With that,
See what we have. I should create a bloody key for this. Every week I just rewrite it again.
Have you got like the countdown music, Dave? You could play over the top.
No, but we all know what favourite stuff we love to listen during this deployment.
Your call is important to us. We will get back to you as soon as we can.
Have you heard about
That's
our
all right. So you
services?
guys wanna-
I'm sure that we.
You guys want to take a short rest or something?
Actually, that's not a bad shout.
We are currently experiencing high call volumes during the lockdown. Please go to our website for more information.
Cool. So we're taking a short rest while Kirik ponders this door.
Go on then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Take a short rest.
Oh, I've got no hit die left, so I used them all last time. But do I get any spell slots back?
I don't know. What does it say when you click short rest?
A short
I know I
rest is a
said this
period of
last
downtime
time.
of at least 1 hour. Does nothing more strenuous than eating, drinking, reading, and tending to wounds. Can I tend to the wounds on the horse?
Yes. So I'm going to say you spend the hour while Kirik is pondering over this door. You start binding some of the wounds, and
Yeah.
generally just the horses feel a lot brighter. You give them a little bit of feed as well. Kirik does.
I was going to say something as well then.
So, today's whiskey. Glenfiddich 15-year-old in Solera casks. Or Solera casks.
How many of those miniatures have you got?
3.
Ah,
Temporary, those temporary / real hit points that you gave us at the start of the cave. Do we still have them?
They last for 8 hours, so I'm not sure how long it's been.
So we're
You would
still.
like
My
in this case.
proposal would be that we take a long rest.
Long rest?
And I take first watch.
I
and
have
do
no
this.
problem with doing that.
Okay.
That'll be my shout.
Long rest it is.
I obviously, if I'm doing this, I can't really watch. So for the first
Fine.
time,
then-
So,
Yeah.
see, you all sort of
Oh, sorry. You
pull
go
out
back.
some bedrolls and
2 seconds while I sort that out. That's right. You leave it there, Matt. I'll sort it.
okay, yep, no worries. So you start to unfold your bedrolls. Kirik sort of says, taking time to really examine it. Andy, you sort of now tended to the horses. Roll
right,
out your
Kirik?
bedroll, and you instantly just sort of like,
yeah, cheers.
put your head down.
Cool.
Bothrid does the same, doing his usual trick of creating sort of a bed of vines and things, and a pillow of vines to lay his head on. Dargon, you two just almost slump down against the wall. In fact, you get your draft horse to lay down, and you lean up against it slightly.
So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to get out Dawnbringer, and gonna talk to her for possibly the first time properly.
Okay.
See if I get a response.
What are you saying to her?
Dawnbringer. I don't know whether you'll respond, but we're definitely on this path now. This path of evil, or killing evil, and I've come to trust, and I'm learning to trust Kirik. Bothrid's a good friend, but we are often outgunned, and I am sorely tempted to ask the gods for help. You are a very powerful weapon, I know, and you have definitely alerted me to the fact that you may contain impressive knowledge. I have come to trust and rely on you in fights. And I think that I can expand this now. I know that you will always be with me, and I hope that along the way you can help me, guide me in the right direction. I've been slow to trust since everything that happened to me. But if you're there, your help in combat and out will always be appreciated.
And there's a pause for a second, and then in your mind, you feel that familiar presence, and you hear that familiar female voice. We have been on a journey, you and I. A journey I do not yet wish to see ended. We can do much together. If it is help from the gods you seek, then seek it. I will help where I can. As long as you wield me, I am yours.
And what if you're ripped from my hands? I don't ever want you to not be available to me.
But you already know the answer to that, don't you, Dargon?
I think I do. And I say, I believe I know. I'd prefer to know out of combat. And I momentarily throw Dawnbringer's hilt to the other side of the cave.
So as you throw it, Dawnbringer's blade dispels. You throw it to the other cave and ting 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 clatters to the other side of the cave.
And I, unknowing but hoping, put my hand out and go, Dawnbringer, come back to me.
And as this occurs, the hilt wobbles slightly on the floor and then flies back to your hand. You grab it. Blade comes out.
Nice.
Well done, Dargon.
I am grateful to know
You just
you'll
leveled
always
up.
be at my side.
That was some cool shit.
But I found a trait that I can use.
You're a Jedi.
Yeah, pretty much. No. So, it is good to know that you will always be at my side, and I am thankful for your guidance. I shall act upon it, because I know that this path will require additional help. We mortals are incapable of doing this, and I know that I am willing to get the help needed. And I get Dawnbringer to, sheathe the blade and rest it. I rest it in my arms, sort of as I'm laying back against sort of my belly on my chest. And I am going to pray to the gods.
Okay.
If anyone else wants to do anything else first.
You are.
I was going to say, if anyone else wants to do anything, well, if they're all sleeping or anything.
This is good character development. We're going to keep with this for a minute.
Yugi.
Yeah, I'm flat out of sleep. I'm unaware of all of this cool shit that's happening.
Yeah, Kiri's having these really random, the lights going from this side to this side as I'm, throwing Dawnbringer around. It's like, would you stop that? No.
I'm going to get Kira's reaction in a minute.
No, don't worry. So I'm then going to do. So I'm not actually going to move. I'm going to stay where I am, but I am going to close my eyes and look up. I'm still holding Dawnbringer. The gods that have seen to show me visions and talk to me. I hope you can hear me now. I wish to get the help sorely needed. We are no match for what we have ahead of us. I do have faith in our party, but I know that our foe is far greater. And I know that divine assistance is required. I ask now openly and honestly for your help. I did not do this before when I lost everything. And I now ask for your help. This kingdom cannot be saved unless we get some serious assistance. I do not ask this lightly and know that it will come as a cost to myself, but I know the journey will have its benefits. Hear me now. I hope you have it in you to help us.
Again, a moment passes by, and then you feel a warmth, almost from where Dawnbringer lies, spring and radiate throughout your body. Kirik, you instantly feel that presence that is known to you as divine energy, divine being. As you turn and glance at Dargon, there is something of a golden glow around him momentarily.
Can I also just sort of slightly alter that, just because I needed to do a bit of research then? And in my comment, it will be something along the far lines of, I am willing to fight for you in your name, knowing that I am doing right. I'm just going to add that bit because I need to.
That's cool. As your prayer finishes and this glow forms, that warmth begins to spread, almost comes burning hot. And a new tattoo begins to form on your chest just above your heart. It forms a circle, and then points begin to radiate out from the circle. And it begins to look like the symbol of the sun. And a voice in your head speaks. My champion, your request is granted. Not lightly. Think on this. Work on this. At the right time, your request shall be granted. And the glow fades. And all is still again.
Think on it, I will. Thank you.
Kirik, at this point you see that celestial, divine glow, radiant glow fade. And with your dark vision you can see that new tattoo on Dargon's chest.
Do I recognize the symbol?
Make me a religion check.
This is this is a daft sound. Can I?
I'm gonna say with
see
advantage.
that? I was gonna say, can I see it?
Have you got dark vision?
Is it like? I got dark. Well, I'm holding Dawnbringer, but I suppose she's not lit, is she? So
I'm going to say because
Yeah,
of you see the glow fade, so you do get the shape
Right.
and you feel it.
But also,
Sort of
can I
feel
like see my interest?
bump.
Religion, you said.
Yeah, with advantage.
Eight.
Oh wow. It
Might as well be
looks
asleep
some-
by me.
So you're
focused
somewhat
on
distracted by the door, and you only pay it half attention, and something in your mind rings a bell, and you sort of make a mental note to come back to it at some point. But at this moment in time, you have other things to focus on.
Sure thing.
Cool. And then Darwin, I'm assuming
with
you
that,
go to sleep.
I go to sleep. It's been a
Darwin
long
does fall
day.
asleep.
Oh, hang on a minute. Who's keeping watch?
Kirik, kind of.
I was about to say.
I mean,
if
I'd be
you-
finished by now, but
Yeah.
I'll keep watch
So-
for this.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
Kirik's
And then-
finished with the door, and then takes his watch for a couple of hours, and then kicks one of the others awake. I'll let you choose.
Let's get Bothrid.
So you wake Bothrid. Bothrid looks almost questioningly as to whether you've solved the riddle of the door.
Yes, I'll deal with that in the morning.
Good. Rest. I take watch.
Thank you.
And Bothrid himself just stands and takes out his long sword, plants the point in the ground, and just stands almost stoically. A guardian, at that
Just mate.
sort of entrance to the cave and the tunnel. And his watch passes uneventfully. He then kicks Ander awake. And you sort of wake up groggily.
What did I miss?
Use your watch. Nothing.
Okay.
Cool. Is there anything you wish to do while you're on your watch?
Can will I be able to see without lighting my sword? Is it a dark room?
No. It's a dark room. Has anybody lit a campfire?
No, I do have a
no.
torch. I will
Yeah,
light
okay.
a torch with my tinderbox and my torch.
So you light a torch and just plant it, and it sort of presents you with about 10 feet of
Yeah.
light out.
I've had a brainwave. I shall study the spell book to see if it has any instructions or any information about the circly portal thing.
Maybe investigation check.
20 altogether.
Doesn't take you long to flick through the pages, and you find a page with an image, a drawing of the exact circle you saw on the floor. All the writing around it, however, is almost unintelligible to you. You can't decipher it.
Bugger. Okay. Is there anything in the spell book I do recognise? Any languages or any?
Only one thing, and that's at the very beginning of the book. It's almost just on the inside of the cover. There is a name that reads Ethereal. It's written in common.
In that case, I shall then just keep watch at that point. And actually pay attention to my surroundings.
Cool. And your watch too passes rather uneventfully. The horses sort of whinny a little bit here and there and sort of dream slightly. Bothered at this point, really loud snoring, but everybody seems to be sleeping through it, and then you just sort of gently nudge Dargon awake to take the final watch.
So,
It's all good fun. Right.
drink,
So
beer,
Dargon,
have
you're
snacks,
on
and
last watch.
I'm on last watch. Cool. Yep, lovely.
So Ander has sort of kicked you awake. You went up, relieved yourself in a corner,
Yep.
and then returned back to the. Is that ice cream?
Now I've litten. What the fuck is that?
Litten?
Now I have.
Lytton.
Yeah, there's.
Now
I
you
feel
do it.
half cut. I've had a few days in a-
yes. Every new one to do, you think it was saying a bit.
As the fire is lit, will that
Yes.
allow me to see Dargon's tattoo, or is it covered
Yes.
by a shirt? It
So,
will allow
no,
me to
it's
see
not.
it.
Dargon is bare-chested, as with all Goliaths. So as you walk over with the torch, you do see now the new tattoo on his chest.
Is it the same sunny circle as the arcane circle on the floor?
No.
It might be my tired eyes, Dargon, but do you have some new markings?
Yeah, might do. I've been praying recently to the gods. You know, they've been giving us visions and all that nonsense. But anyway, finally, I thought we need some help. Spoke to one last night. Got a response. Kinda surprised by that. But anyway, seems that someone does want me to fight for them, and I am more than happy to. As a result, seems like I've got this here old tattoo. No idea what it means.
I found out I'm a king, you steal my thunder and get blessed by the gods. Typical.
Who did you speak to?
Good night. Oh, is everyone awake?
Well, no, it's my last
Oh,
watch,
sorry, I thought this-
suppose. But
Yeah, it's just the final watch.
We shall have this as a
Okay.
story over breakfast, my friend.
Kirik sort of mutters something in his sleep and rolls back over. Dargon,
Bothrid's
your
like
watch passes- Yeah, I did say that. Bothrid was snoring. Your watch passes totally uneventfully. Is there anything else you wish to do though while you are having sort of these final 2 hours?
I would hold Dawnbringer again. You were right. I asked the question. Seems we are not alone in this after all.
You were never alone, Dargon. You just had to make the choice.
Well said.
And with that, you sort of, a couple of hours pass. You have no real concept of day or night in this place. It's just permanently dark. However, you do then sort of nudge everybody else awake, sort of deciding that it's now time to move forward.
I would like to spend some time whilst we're having breakfast or something, praying to the Raven Queen, and whilst doing
Okay.
so, attuning myself to this shield.
What are you saying to the Raven Queen as you enter into this prayer?
It's been a tough. It's been a strange couple of days. I have fought many creatures. I did not kill any per se, but certainly helped some pass through. Prevented some of my friends from passing as well. I think I'm doing the right thing. It's difficult to say. It's difficult to understand the flow of life and death, and what souls to keep here, what souls to let go. But I hope I'm on the right path. And if this shield of yours is any sign, I suppose it's reassuring, if nothing else.
As you say this prayer, and as you feel the shield and sort of become attuned to the shield, the ruby eyes of the raven's head flash almost, and there is almost a whisper on the air. You will know what is right and what is wrong. And that whisper just almost seems to fade away. And you are now attuned to your shield.
Cool. Nice. It's good news. Yeah, okay, yeah, I did the +1. Cool.
Excellent.
Awesome.
So yeah, that's a nice little bit of kit there.
Yeah.
Cool. What are we doing now? We are faced with this door with those geometric patterns, the chalky runes underneath.
Hopefully opening it. I move up to the door and I start pressing the symbols.
Okay.
Oh, the chalk symbols equivalent. I shall need the thing up, I think. So that would be third symbol on the. Sorry.
To Phil, I was playing a trill on my little pan flute over breakfast, but seeing Kirik get up and move towards the wall, I get up to observe or just stand behind him just to see what's about to happen. Because seeing everyone sort of pray and have a god, I sort of took solace in the fact that music is my prayer as a way to calm myself in a way.
The extra hit points, if we complete a little long rest, they're gone.
They've all gone. They should.
Yeah,
go
mine
when you
disappeared.
complete your
Yeah,
long rest.
mine
Yeah.
went already. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so first symbol.
So the third one on the first row, I believe. As in, like, the chalk ones.
Yes, bear with me. I have actually got that first one wrong. So it should have a dot on it.
In that case,
So let me just double check the rest. The rest are correct. So yeah, it's just that first one should have had a dot in the
okay.
corner.
Still a word that makes no sense to me, I think. So that changed things. So it's the penultimate symbol on the first row in that case.
Yep. So you touch that, and the geometric shape flashes purple, and then fades.
And then, oh gosh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, ninth symbol on the first row.
Yep. Again.
Then 6th symbol on the first row.
Yep.
And then 5th symbol on the first row.
Yep.
Then 5th symbol on the first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5th symbol on the first row as again. Right, words. And then... yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on the second row.
Yep.
Twice.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go back to 1, 2, 3, 4. Fifth on the first.
Yep.
Where is that? First on the second row.
Mm-hmm.
Third on the first row.
Yep.
And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Fifth on the first row again.
And as you hit that final symbol, all of the geometric shapes again, and you see that thin beam of light form between the doors. And the doors open. And before you...
I've got my hands on my weapons just in case. On my rapiers. Ready.
I'm going to find my surface pen. And you can't see that view, can you, Dave? So bear with me. We are going to share screen 1. That's better. Cool. So as the door opens, you see a circular chamber with stones around the edge which look totally out of place in this area. And you have seen them before in your sort of previous explorations through the cave. In the centre of this cave, a sword is driven between two cracks in the rocky floor. The sword itself has a sort of... it's almost a very dark grey blade, and then a blackish hilt with a black handguard and in a ruby type pommel. You can't quite see the details of the sword there because it's just a place marker that I've dropped in.
Obviously, we can see it because of the map, but would we assume that those rocks are the same from that passageway that we went from? So, like in the map,
Yes.
West. Okay, cool.
Having seen sort of cave and then those particular types of rock, yeah, you immediately recognise them as the other side.
Is the floor any different?
Yes, so it itself almost matches the stones around the edge. They look very smooth, very polished. Made is probably the easiest way to describe that.
Looking up, do I see anything?
Nope. So this is just a chamber made of these rocks. This polished still, these polished sort of columns.
I turn around to my companions and I say, does the name Hive Edgesse mean anything to you?
I'm afraid not, my friend.
Have you written it down, Garrick? Go have a look.
Hang on a minute.
Can we see the sword in the stone at this point?
It's not sword in the stone, but yes, you can see the sword driven into the rocks.
It's just... oh, there we go. Okay.
Is that 2 J's in a jersey?
It is 2J.
I... It's not upside down or backwards, is it?
Or just an anagram.
Is the sword like a short sword or a long sword, or is it difficult to say?
Looks to be a long sword from what you can see.
Okay.
And there's nothing else in the room.
No.
Oh, I hate this.
Can I see the whole room as my character?
As you hold your torch up, I'm going to say you were all at the doorway at this point.
I'll have
The
Dawnbringer
light
lit.
actually okay, so with Dawnbringer lit, yep, you see everything.
I shall learn my lesson after grabbing the gold. But
Well,
that sword will be mine.
we are... Yeah. Let's not kill the horses. I was going to say we're outside the room, but I'm not sure.
Can I see any booby traps in the room around the sword?
Stood at this point. Are you all still stood at the doorway, yeah?
Yeah.
Just in the entrance to the room, yeah.
Make me a perception check, please, Amber.
9.
Can't see any obvious traps.
Is there any magic emanating from this sword?
Make me an Arcana check.
That is a 15.
Yes. The sword is definitely radiating some form of magic.
I relay that to the group. There is some. A sword is definitely magic.
So you're saying I shouldn't touch it?
How wide is the door?
It's about 5 feet wide, basically.
Could I think that I could, with my shield, make it certainly difficult if anything appeared in the cave to sort of barricade it partially?
If you were stood with your shield in the doorway,
Yeah.
anything that tried to move past you would invoke an attack of opportunity.
Okay, and I know you said you ain't gonna, you've learnt your lesson, but if I stand here, then not a lot's gonna get past me without me getting a swing. I'm just thinking what happened in that last room. We got attacked inside the room, and maybe you use your funky little hand that can go and pick stuff up, and I just keep standing here as a barrier, just in case. What do you think?
If the sword is too heavy, I may not be able to lift it with my mage hand, but I can certainly grab it and see what happens. So with that, I cast my mage hand to
Shield
grab
out.
the hilt of the sword. It's got a 30-foot range, but it can only lift something of 10 pounds.
10.
But I can activate magic items. So I'm just going to grab the hilt and try and jiggle it.
So as your mage hand reaches forward and you get it to close around the hilt, doesn't budge.
and nothing happens? In that case, I will go up to the sword and grab it with my real hands.
As Ander steps past the threshold of the door,
Ah, shit.
Oh
Dargo, make me a
no!
dexterity saving throw.
Oh yeah.
It's like Crystal Maze. Shit. If I come out with the crystal within the allotted time, we're fine.
17.
So you see the doors closing and just in time manage to pull yourself back before they close on you.
I immediately start hammering on the door and shouting,
Ander, you okay?
From the inside of the room, you can hear sort of
do I hear anything back?
you two hear that sort of.
Alright. I don't fly back with lightning damage or anything this time.
But the runes
So what?
and the geometric shapes are no longer on the door.
Yeah, man.
So what's happening on my side of the door?
You are currently in this chamber.
With
The
no
vision
light.
goes behind you. There is a sword in front of you.
Have you got any light, Ander?
I'm assuming my torch is... Well, I put both my hands on my sword, so the torch is still in the ground, so I'm going to have to light my rapier to see.
Okay. So, and sort of the light just flickers off the walls again, sort of reflects back. You simply see the sword in front of you.
Hearing tales in my youth of mystical swords in stones and chosen ones being able to pull things from the ground such as swords, and with my new inflated sense of self from real and thinking this may be for me as the tomb was kind of for me, I'm going to put my flame tongue rapier into my weaker hand, into my left hand, and still try and grab the sword with my right hand.
So you reach out,
Why not?
and as your hand grasps the sword itself, you feel cold just go up your arm. You must lock your arm into place.
Oh no.
And a voice speaks in your head. It's been many years since someone held me in their hand. Are you to wield me?
If you find me worthy.
Time will tell.
Oh, what do I say? I've got to try and pick up the sword. I vow not to let you down.
I
You think I'll be sucking up to a sword at this point?
hunger.
For blood?
Yes. Take me.
Will you?
Use me. Feed me.
Do I have a choice?
Of course.
And I can actually move my arm even though it's frozen, right? Or is my
Currently,
arm stuck?
Your arm is sort of stuck to the sword at this point.
What sort of sword or possession are you to be sentient?
You have not earned that knowledge yet.
can I sense whether this is a corrupting force or whether it's a good force like Dawnbringer?
Have you got anything like detect good and evil at all?
Nope.
Then no, you cannot.
If I choose to take you with me, what will you do for me? What can we do for each other?
Sweet.
I will destroy your enemies, and you will feed me.
So the only thing you desire
Hungry.
So I feed your bloodlust. What happens to me in return?
I can grant you extra power.
To defeat even the strongest of my enemies.
Yes. Together, we shall conquer all.
And obviously, in this point, I'm thinking, I can't kill the Eladrin on my own. He's bested us so many times. And I feel almost swayed into thinking I need this sword to defeat the Eladrin. So, fine. We shall work together. Your bloodlust is my bloodlust.
Yes. And the cold releases from your arm. The blade itself slides from the stone. You hear a click, and the stone columns to your left open. You see that pathway to your left. The door behind you opens again. Before you, Ander and Kirik, you see Dargon, sword in hand. And you also see the entranceway opened up to the left there. So, that way.
What happened?
So, is the sword in my head now, like Dawnbringer is?
Sword is in your hand. And yes, that voice is in your head.
You got it, Ander.
And I'm kind of just looking at the sword.
Ander, you good?
This is what we've been waiting for. This is how we defeat the Eladrin. And I kind of do a He-Man, I have the power type thing.
Well,
Yes.
it's just a sword, Ander. You've already got two of them.
This is like your Dawnbringer. It has a lust for blood and promises me power to slay all of our enemies.
Now that's more like it.
Not to mention it has a ruby.
I'm just looking at Samal's face.
He's like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I'm wondering whether this is Kirik or Samal. It's like, how do you know it has lust?
It speaks to me.
Alright.
Like how your Dawnbringer speaks to you, Targon.
Oh, yeah. Helpful at times.
So all your swords just speak to you?
Not just Dawnbringer. She seems to be, well, I thought unique.
Would Kirak have the knowledge about sentient weapons?
Make me a history check.
It's 21.
So you've heard tales of sentient weapons before. It is rare for people to come across one, let alone two. You know that some weapons are granted sentience through the trapping of creatures or the essence of a creature in the material. You know others are constructed with sentience, usually through some sort of great magical means, be that through sort of severe arcane power or through sort of like blessings from the gods, those sorts of things. But you understand how rare they are. You understand that most sentient weapons will only speak to the person that wields them.
Okay. I will keep that to myself now.
He has shown us the way, and then I point to the other door that's opened. This will help us fulfill our destiny.
Oh, so, oh, is this the way out? Bloody hell. Well, good job. I'll get the horses.
I'm going to have to put some other weapons in my bag of holding. I've got weapons coming out my arsehole here.
So I then actually speak
And
to
as
Dawnbringer.
this
And
is going on, the voice speaks to you again. Oh, one of these creatures to be my first meal.
Can I speak to it in my head, or do I have to speak to it out loud?
I can cut you from our audio if you want.
No, because I just want to ask it in my head. What
So
creatures
as far
do
as
you
you're
mean?
concerned, you just hear this voice. So you're not sure. At this
So I'll
point,
say
it's
out
moment
loud
in
then.
time.
Yeah. What creatures do you mean?
Creatures.
Creatures. We didn't talk
Yes.
about any creatures.
Creatures before us. Is Goliath, is orc. I do like orc blood. Hobgoblin. Horses.
We have made a deal. I will feed your bloodlust. But these are off limits. These are our allies. These will help me fulfill my destiny, which will give you the blood you seek.
Very well. You must feed me soon.
At which
It
point,
goes quiet.
can I go and stab him in that dead thing we killed? I forgot what it's called.
The harpy.
Harpy, thank you. Can I just go stab it in the harpy and go, does this quench your thirst for now? I don't like.
And as you stab the sword into the corpse of the harpy, the blood almost seems to draw up the blade. It goes into the hilt. The ruby glows. And you just get this. It will do for now. Fresh living would be better.
Patience, my new friend.
And, you're acting weird.
I appear to have made a deal that will have to be fulfilled on a regular basis. So,
What deal?
in exchange for power to slay our Eladrin enemy, this sword must have its bloodlust fulfilled. I must confess, he inquired about your blood, to which I told him, you are our allies, you are off limits. So I quenched his thirst with this
Is it too late
creature.
to leave the sword on the ground?
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a nice blade, Under. I know that sounds a really stupid thing to say, but I've got to be honest, not talked about it much, but I certainly don't have that kind of deal with Dawnbringer.
Does
does
she
like-
not feel appeased when you slay people in battle?
The odd undead, I know that she is glad when we put them to rest, but I've never heard her demand that we kill.
So then I ask the sword, what happens if I leave you here?
I'm afraid that is no longer an option. And as he says that, you now get that feeling you don't want to leave this sword.
It appears this sword is our only way out. I shall discard of it later, when we are out of this cave.
Do I believe him?
Do I believe that?
So, make me insight.
I'm
checks,
charming as
both
fuck.
of you, and make me a deception check. And I'm going to say a deception check with advantage.
That's 14.
Oh, come on. I've got +7 on this.
And you rolled what, a 1?
13.
Oh, wow.
20,
I rolled a
22.
Oh, yeah, we believe you.
As far as you can sense,
Yep.
that's
Yeah.
totally the truth.
Yeah, all right then.
Fair enough.
Alright. Sounds a bit up here. Yeah. Alright then. Let's hope that we can, well, to be fair, our past couple of days has definitely proved the fact that you're going to keep that sword bloody well fed. So, do you know the way out?
Westward,
Good.
which I'm assuming is left, as I look at the map.
So you all basically head out that
Bothrid,
way.
do you mind getting the horses?
Bothrid at this point has already wrangled up all the horses and is leading them by their various reins. And you begin to make your way
To...
westward.
Am I going to turn into Gollum at some point and be like, filthy little orcs? And then I'm going to be corrupted by it and my hair's going to start falling out.
You eventually follow the route round. I'm assuming
Right.
you are going south there, and you eventually come back to this.
Yep.
That looks like a dead end to me.
I will dip the tip of the sword into the pool of the elf's blood.
And again, the blood seeps up. Fresh, sold, rotten, wrong.
I'm doing what I can.
Looking at the fact that Anders doing this and he did it before, it was fairly obvious. Still got Dawnbringer in hand. Just go, Dawnbringer, have you got a bloodlust, or do you just prefer the killing of undead? As I seem to have got an impression of that.
I have my purpose. Bloodlust is not something I believe I have. I am your tool to be used. This sword is strange. Watch over your companion.
You can sense the sword then?
Somewhat.
I said, well, with your comment, I may well. And are you sure about that blade? Makes me uneasy.
You made me uneasy when we first met, Dargon. Give it time. You'll come round.
Ah, well, touche. Anyway, that still doesn't answer the question of how the hell we get the hell out of here. I brought the roof in on one way, and this looks like a dead end. So, over to you.
At this point, I would like to take out the spell book, open it on the page that has this symbol on it, and pass it to Kirik. I found this while I was on my watch. Does this mean anything to you? Can you decipher these markings?
I'll have a look.
I believe them to be instructions.
So I'll pause there. Danny, DM Whisper. So check your device. Kirik, make me an Arcana check, please.
What language is this spellbook written in?
Make me an Arcana check.
Fair enough. That's 13.
So you two see the symbol, the drawing of the circle in front of you. But the spell itself or the instructions seem unintelligible. It's almost like you get a letter for a minute and then it fades from your mind. Andrew, at this point you feel a sting in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody else knows that. Kirik, yeah, it's almost like you just can't focus on the spell itself.
You're right, Kirik. Can you understand that?
Not really. This is not my specialty. I think we might need to try it firsthand. Seems to be the best option.
Okay. Is one of us trying this, or are we all gonna go at once and see what happens?
Allow me, gentlemen, and I'll walk into the middle of the circle.
Oh god, here we go.
As Ander walks into the circle, there is a flash of golden fire, and Ander is no longer there.
Oh, shit.
That was
Seems to
either a
work.
good thing or a very, very bad thing. Who's next?
I'll go. Nice
Kirik steps forward, steps into the circle, and Dargon, as you look at the circle now, you see the lines are beginning to fade.
Bothrid, you,
Yep.
me, we better get there pretty quick. Bring the horses. Let's go.
Waiting for someone to fuck that up.
Them fucking horses won't get through, we'll leave them.
So
He's the
as you
barbarian, though. It's up to me.
Both
sort
got
of
sort of
lead-
two each.
Lead each, lead two
Yeah.
each, and you both step into the circle. And you all sort of all just appear suddenly. You find yourselves high up on a mountain somewhere. when I go back to my maps, it's cold, bitterly cold. There is snow around you on the mountain. You are not quite on the summit, but there is certainly a level area. There are the remnants of what look like a camp where you have landed. And as you now look around your feet, you see a familiar circle, or at least drawing of the circle, outline in the snow and the mud, and in the ground. The arcane glow, however, is gone. What would you like to do?
You alright, everyone?
No, it's cold.
Oh,
And with that, I need everybody to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Do I, due to the fact that I don't get any cold,
No.
so I don't have to? Cool.
Yeah, no. It doesn't affect you.
Okay.
14.
Okay.
Oh, 8.
And you take 2 points of cold damage.
Can I light my rapier to keep me warm?
So you pull out your flame-tongue rapier, Dracaris, and it provides some warmth, but you quickly realise that if you don't move off here, eventually the cold is going to get to you.
I can do a perception check or sort of an investigation, just something to let's try and get us a bearing of our surroundings.
Cool. So make me a perception check.
Looking for paths or something.
Can I assist on that?
9.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. So,
So you
thank you.
both begin to look around. As Under
that's
sort of
better.
hunkers down around this
Sorry, which one did you say?
perception.
Perception. That's a 22.
So you sort of move your way around this little clearing, and eventually you sort of peer over. And as you peer over the side, down at the very bottom of this mountain, you can see a lake. And as you look further down, it's a little bit difficult with the clouds and stuff, but you see what looks like plains that goes into forest, and then the trees look somewhat strange as you look further in that direction.
But presumably it's just I can I relay all of that lot, and I say I think it's best we get off this mountain as quick as possible. I'm guessing I'm looking at you guys shivering. Looks bloody cold. Shall we scarper?
Yeah. Let's follow along.
Cool. I should also say at this point that with the cold weather, the sun itself looks like it's setting.
So I'm gonna light a torch.
Yep. So you light a torch. Again, gives off a little bit of warmth. The torch itself struggles a little bit to light and stay lit, but it does just manage it.
I'm gonna so that's in my left hand. Right hand Dawnbringer just for the light. I know it doesn't then give me give any of us anything, but it's just in the hopes. And I will go first.
Cool. So you sort of make your way down, and it's not necessarily a clear-cut path, and it is considered difficult terrain, but you do manage to sort of find a path of sorts, a rudimentary path that takes you down.
While we're going, I'd also be looking for shelter against the wind,
Yeah.
and obviously as we go down away from the cold, so we can light a fire as the sun's going down.
Cool. And the sun.
This is my
just beginning
territory. I know how to get away.
set more and more, and you are constantly looking around. You find no caves immediately, and it probably takes you a good hour. I need Ander and Kirik and Bothwood to make a Constitution saving throw again, please.
6.
9.
You both take 4 points of cold damage. Eventually, Dargon, you probably get, I'd say, about 2 hours into this journey, and you eventually see a cave, sort of just off to your left, or what looks like an outcropping, so to speak, or not an outcropping, but a cave.
Alright then, let's stop here. Let's get warm. Let's get out of the wind. Do you agree?
Yep.
Right.
No argument.
Let's all
from
get
me.
inside. Collect some firewood, and let's get a roaring fire going.
So as you get inside the cave, Dargon being the hardiest in this time, whether you actually go out and you look, and this mountain is bare. There's no wood. It's just rock and shale and snow.
Is it any less damaging to the other guys in the cave?
The wind has dropped and there is some shelter from the wind. The cold is still there.
I come back in.
I can't find anything to light a fire. How are you guys faring? Still cold?
Can we make a spire? Apparently I have 9 torches. Can I make, like, a triangle spire of torches and light them all?
Cool. So you do sort of
I
pile the
yeah,
torches up.
I can add some to that if you want.
Well, they only last for an hour, so I think we'll have to keep adding one
Okay.
as
yeah.
we go.
Yeah, I'll do that.
So we're going to say we, not necessarily rest, but we pause for an hour while we shelter. The cold, if anything, is beginning to get worse as the sun now dips over the horizon. The stars come out, clear sky, and with that clear sky brings an even harsher cold. Without that cloud cover to sort of contain some of the heat from the world. Yeah. It's clear at this point. Staying here is not going to be a long-term option. However, the torches do stave off the effects for now.
I'm thinking this is a bit too cold for you boys. What do you want to do?
So this cave doesn't go in. It's just like a little
It's literally
rocky bush
just
shelter,
like-
essentially.
Effectively, yeah. It's just a bit of shelter from the wind.
Did Dagon and I see like a place with trees? You said.
Yeah, so down, like, at the bottom and beyond the mountain, there was the lake, and then beyond that, out in the distance, were sort of plains, what looks like almost grassland, and then some trees, and then the trees themselves looks different in some way. You can quite figure out from this distance.
Is it possible
I just
to
feel-
use the horse? Go on, sorry.
I just feel we need to head down and get off the mountain.
Would it be faster on the horses? Are the horses struggling? Is there like a windy blizzard where they won't be much use and we have to lead them, or could we? Oh, you said it's rough terrain, didn't you? So we can't use horses.
Yeah, the path itself is pretty precarious on foot, let alone on horse.
Well, let's just try and get
Well,
down.
Bothrid,
Go on.
Bothrid does say, cannot lead all four. Need help. Single file.
I'll take some.
Yep, I'll take my
Also-
white mare.
I'll take my my workhorse.
We must make haste down this mountain.
All right.
It's starting to affect me.
Cool.
Someone
so
else
you,
go first. I'll take up the rear. If anyone's struggling, I'll give him an hand.
Cool. So who's going first?
I'll go first and keep an eye out.
Cool. So Kirit sort of leads the way with the warhorse, and the warhorse sort of has its head bowed low. You travel for another couple of hours. Begins to get a little bit warmer, and you're probably around sort of halfway down at this point. Another Constitution saving throw, please.
I nearly landed on a 20, and then it landed on a 2. So 3.
9.
So you both take 3 points of cold damage.
3.
3. And I'm assuming you keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So another couple of hours. No shelter at this point. But as
Are we
I
near the
say,
lake or anything by now, or not?
You're getting down to sort of the foothills, if you like, of the mountain, and the path itself is becoming somewhat easier. And eventually, as you come down to the very bottom, and it's still cold, but it's not that bitter cold of the sort of the near summit of the mountain. You see the lake off to your right. It's probably about half a mile away from where you are. And then
Are we starting to get any wood or anything that we can pick up along the way now?
so at this point you are coming out of the mountains, and you begin to see the sort of grassland now begin to sort of start. And there's the odd little sapling here or there, and you can see further on. It looks like there's some bigger shrubs and the odd tree. And then you also see what looks like a path, a clear cut, almost main thoroughfare type path.
May I suggest we mount our steeds?
I'm leading, so I guess I'd start following the path. And how are the horses looking?
The horses are okay. They're sort of shaking off the cold a little bit.
Okay.
They all did really well on their Constitution saving throws, I'm not gonna lie.
But yeah, I don't mind using the horses. Let's try and get into some shelter, and let's see out this night.
Where does the path lead to?
It, from what you can see at the minute, it just seems to lead straight ahead. So you mount up, you travel on this path for a while, and then the path splits. One way heads to sort of the left, another heads to the right, sort of following the edge of the lake, almost, or following the path of the lake.
And the one to the left goes towards what? Trees, more hills. Where does that
Just
head
heads off into the grassland, because it's night time now. You can't quite see.
Okay.
Whichever one seems to go downward.
So you've, at this point, pretty much come onto a flat plain, so to speak. You're out of that mountainous area. Almost seemed like you were on the very last mountain of the range.
Okay. What does everyone think we should head to? Can I? Looking at, is it clear sky? You said.
It is.
Could I try to get a vague position of where we are? using the night sky.
Roll me a survival check.
Nice.
Can I assist?
13.
Yep. You can assist. See, both sort of look
much
at the
better.
stars and try and
22.
point out constellation.
Hey.
So with that, you figure out that your current orientation is you're facing south, basically, and you're heading in a southerly direction. The path that leads off to your left heads in a more southeast direction, as the path ahead of you, where it sort of splits, that fork, would continue to lead you further south, maybe heading towards the southwest. Sorry, the other one heading southeast. The southwest one follows the lake.
And I believe we wanted to go southeast.
I think so too.
Let's follow along then.
Let's follow the southeasterly path.
Let's just do it quickly. I'm shivering.
You begin to sort of get into a little bit of a canter, and then suddenly a figure steps out into the middle of the road with a roar, and all of your horses rear for a second and stop. Before you stands a robed figure, wearing sort of blue and goldish robes, which you can just about tell with the firelight. Their head, very much that of a lion, flowing white mane, or pale mane I should say, around its head. And just the roar, "Stop! You have something that belongs to me."
Who goes there? Show yourself. I will bring out
Steps.
Dawnbringer.
Yep, so steps forward into the light a bit more, and you see that distinctive lion face now. Sort of gemstone necklace around its neck, various rings with gemstones on its fingers, a staff in one hand, and just as I say, these blue and gold robes.
Thinking. You see, I'm torn. One half of me wants to give him the spellbook, which I think is his. The other half of me wants to pick a fight to potentially give the sword what it wants.
And as you
But
think
I'm
this, as you think this, you hear the sword. Yes, finally, a feast. And that's why we're going to leave it for tonight.
Hey!